More than ever before, people are experiencing homelessness for the first time.
And the federal government says the reason for this is an increase is due to a significant shortage, that is, of affordable housing. So that's why we're seeing that increase out there. We are on your side breaking down the barriers to homelessness in our big story today.
The number of people experiencing homelessness on a single night in 2024 was the highest ever recorded. That is according to the Office of Policy Development and Research's 2024 Annual Homelessness Assessment Report. Now, this report finds more than 771,000 people across the United States experienced homelessness all over the country last year. 104,000 of those people were aged 55 to 64, and just over 42,000 people were over the age of 64. Furthermore, 46% of those adults aged 55 or older were experiencing unsheltered homelessness in places not meant for human habitation.
Nearly all populations reached record homelessness levels last year. However, people and families with children, they had the largest increase, going up from 39% in 2023 to 2024. And the report also found that nearly 150,000 children experienced homelessness in at least a single night. That's a 33% increase from 2023.
Homelessness has been an ongoing issue across the state of Ohio as well. According to HUD's 2024 point-in-time homeless report, more than 11,000 people are homeless right now in Ohio. That's about 400 more than there were in 2023. Of that total number, 815 were children experiencing homelessness. Among Ohio's biggest cities, Cincinnati saw the largest year-over-year jump of nearly 7%, while Cleveland's numbers stayed level. As a whole, Ohio's 3% increase was far below the national jump of 18%.
Michigan also saw an increase in homelessness. Last year, it went up 8% from 2023. Officials say the increase is due to a lack of affordable housing. Tanaya Jordan has the story.
If you're couch hopping or you're staying with friends or you're staying outside, all of it is a category of homelessness.
Categories of homelessness Mike Carl says he knows from firsthand experience.
When I was homeless, I seen that there was not many people that really looked at us or seen us. They didn't know our names. We were just panhandlers or people that were outside. But every one of us have a story.
From homelessness to president of Cardboard Profits, Carl says he's seeing more families outside.
More individuals that are struggling with homelessness and more families that are staying in their cars.
Michigan's Campaign to End Homelessness released a report showing an increase in the state's homeless rate and an action plan to combat the issue across the state, like adding 518 affordable housing units.
Homelessness is a housing problem.
Director of Policy at the Michigan Coalition Against Homelessness, Lisa Chapman, says it's a slight but significant increase that's been happening since 2020, leaving families without an affordable home to live in.
Unfortunately, homelessness ticked up slightly between 2022 and 2023 by about 2%.
To help those in need, Carl says he offers community resources like free laundry day and a hotel program.
I try to speak up for those that have been in a position where I was, that have nowhere to go.
Even with the decrease in affordable housing, the National Inventory of Beds, which tracks how much temporary shelter is available for the unhoused, actually increased by 13% last year. This increase was driven by increases in emergency shelter beds, which went up by 18% between 2023 and 24 and has doubled since 2007. However, transitional housing has steadily decreased over time, declining by 4% last year. Still, this reduction in beds does not necessarily mean transitional housing beds were completely removed from the national inventory. Often transitional housing programs realize they function more like emergency shelters and change their project type to align better with the way they actually function. In other cases, transitional housing programs converted to permanent housing projects, which included transition in place and rapid rehousing.
Meanwhile, a local organization is working to end homelessness, and it announced this week that it is getting nearly $500,000 to fund its mission.
Grant money will come from lawsuit settlements over the pharmaceutical industry's role in the opioid epidemic. New at 4:30, I-Team reporter Sophie Bates joins us live to explain what this money means for the community. Sophie?
Now, Tony, that money is going to bring Neighborhood Property Incorporated's rental assistance program a significant boost here. It means more people who are currently unhoused will have a place to stay and have an opportunity to get back on their feet. Neighborhood Properties Incorporated owns more than 500 apartments, and state and federal funding either covers part or all of the rental costs for people who are experiencing homelessness and live in those units. Alexandria Thomas Holland is NPI's Director of Community Relations and Development. She says nearly the $500,000 they're getting will now cover rental assistance for a number of other individuals over the next 3 years. She says the grant will specifically be earmarked for people who have opioid use disorders or mental illness.
It really is a step, I believe, towards accountability. It's so significant that this funding is coming into our community to really help those that this epidemic has directly affected.
NPI is one of several organizations receiving grants from these opioid settlements. I'll share more about the other recipients and their missions coming up on Action News at 5:30. Tony?
Sophie Bates reporting live for us this afternoon. If you're experiencing a housing crisis and you're in need of shelter, you can dial 211. That will connect you with the United Way's 211 information and referral service line. It's available to the Lucas, Ottawa, and Wood County communities 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Once you call, a representative will direct you to the appropriate resource to meet your needs. Just simply tell the navigation specialist what you're looking for. You can also chat online with a representative, and you can find that link at 13abc.com.
And we will be on your side, continuing to keep you informed on the homeless situation in both Ohio and Michigan. You can also stay up to date about some of those resources and changes that are happening by downloading the 13 Action News app. It's available as a free download in your phone's app store.